Hello, and welcome to another episode of Winning Where It Matters. My name is Kyei Amoako, and it's a pleasure to have you here with me again. Today, I want to talk about fear. Fear is a natural part of the human experience. Now, it shows up in different forms. Sometimes it serves as caution. Sometimes it paralyzes us from making decisions, and sometimes it just makes us act in weird ways. But I want to talk about understanding fear, understanding how to work with it, and moving forward in spite of fear. When I was a kid, about 9 years old, I used to be scared of ghosts. And that's because of the narratives that I heard and the things that I saw on TV growing up about ghosts and people talking about, oh, a ghost grabbed somebody. And so if somebody died in my neighborhood, I wouldn't go into a dark room by myself. Now, you could say that's an irrational fear, but that fear was real for me as a 9 year old walking in the streets of Accra. Irrational fears are not limited to 9 year old boys. I have seen people in different areas of life living with fears or acting around fears in ways that feel irrational. I recognize that it may seem irrational to me, but that fear, the emotion of fear that they feel, is real. So I want to acknowledge that. If you are living with fear right now, if there's something that fills you with fear, others might see it as being irrational, but I want us to acknowledge that as being part of the normal human experience. And the bigger question is, what are we going to do with the fear? How are we going to let that fear be a part of our experience and for us to be able to move forward in spite of that fear? What changed for me? Because right now I'm no longer afraid of ghosts. Well, things changed because I got exposed to new information. I got exposed to information that challenged the narrative that I was living with. I grew up, my perspective expanded. And so I knew that I was focusing on something that wasn't real. And I exposed myself to facts or different stories that informed me and again helped me address the things that I was imagining. The lesson here is fear may be real or imagined, but whether it's real or imagined, it could get in the way of you taking actions. And so, what are we going to do about it? I want to say without new information, fear thrives and turns into beliefs. And it often turns into limiting beliefs. And so let's sit with this for a minute. A lot of our beliefs, limiting beliefs, stem from fears, fears that we haven't examined yet. And I want to put fear into two buckets: healthy fear and unhealthy fear. Healthy fear are fears that causes us to pause, think critically, and prepare. Unhealthy fears, they paralyze us and a lot of times causes us to make decisions or take actions that's against our best interests. And distinguishing between healthy fear and unhealthy fear is what's going to help you be able to take action in spite of the fear. And which is why I want to talk to you about one of my newest books. It's called Felt the Fear, but Did It Anyway. This is a book that was inspired by my original book, Life in Progress: Winning Where It Matters. And it pulls that chapter out of it, expands it with reflective prompts to help you think through the motivations behind your fear, think of ways you're going to move forward with that in spite of the fear. So, this has a summary of all the chapters of the original book and the full chapter about felt the fear but did it anyway. But then when you get to the journal section, it has 6 sections. First one, identify the fear. Name that fear. Takes you through prompts to help you name that fear. It also takes you through steps to help you understand the motivations, the source, the triggers of that fear. And then also helps you separate fact from fiction. What is true? What is imagined? You're going to work through that to get to what is healthy and what's unhealthy fear. And then you go through exercises to imagine the worst. What's the worst that could happen? And once you face that, what's the worst that could happen? You could prepare adequately or you could take appropriate steps to move forward in spite of the fear. Now, make a plan and face the fear is section 5. And this is to help you think through what specific actions you could take, lay it out, and think about how you're going to move forward. And then section 6 is about reflecting on the experience. This is about looking back at what you've done, what you've been able to move past, and letting that inform your confidence and your perspective about living with fear. Somebody said, courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward in spite of the fear. And I agree with that. So I'll say if there's something worth doing, feel the fear and do it anyway. I felt the fear and did it anyway, and I'm here to tell you about it. Now, don't just go do anything and say Che told you to feel the fear and do it anyway. I'm saying if it's something that's worth doing, feel the fear and do it anyway. If you're thinking about robbing a bank, don't do that because that's not worth doing. Listen to that fear. It's telling you something that's not a good thing. Stay away from it. But if you're trying to venture out to start something new and you're feeling the fear, that might be a signal to you that you need to prepare some more. Feel that fear, but do it anyway. If you're afraid, you're feeling fear about the future, that might be a signal that you need to tap into the resources available to you and to feel the fear, prepare, and take intentional actions towards the future. The book is available on Amazon.com. I'm going to leave a link in the description. It's also available on KyeiAmoako.com. If you would like to buy this book in bulk, you could let me know. If you would like for me to lead a workshop, a discussion with a group that you're part of, email me and I'll be happy to discuss that with you. Kyei@KyeiAmoako.com. If you like today's episode, I encourage you to hit the like button and share this with somebody you know who would benefit from this episode. And please subscribe if you have not subscribed yet and hit the notification button so you know when I upload new videos. As always, I believe in you and I hope you believe in yourself too. I'll see you on the next one.